I've seen them sell upwards between as I mean, for me, if you see one for less than $1,000, I would be suspect because it's also one of
What?
the wide. I would say it's one of the most popular bootleg records out there. So,
Really?
I would say for every real one, there's probably 25 fakes or more.
What? All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Club 30s. Today, we're going to be addressing a fan question that came in. That is, I've been trying to buy more Michael Jackson merch, but a lot of it is pretty expensive. Are there any websites or places you would recommend that are cheaper? So I thought it would be a great idea to bring in an expert in the field. Today we have MJ Market as a guest. And today's episode is going to be for those of you guys that want to start a collection, whether you're a new fan or an older fan, somebody that just wants to expand their Michael Jackson merchandise or their knowledge about what's out there. MJ Market, again, like I said, is our guest today. This store was started by two best friends to sell all sorts of Michael Jackson collectibles and merch around the world. And we are here with one of the owners, Jonathan, right now.
Thank you
Hello.
so much for having me on today. I appreciate it. It's so nice to finally meet you. I know we've been chatting for so many years online, and now finally face to face like this.
Yes, it's awesome to meet you. I'm a big fan of your store and like the subscription box and the entire concept. So I'm super excited to have you on today.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I couldn't be more excited to be here with you guys today. This is going to be great.
Yes, and I wanted to take some time out to tell people a little bit more about you, Jonathan. You're a buyer and a seller of Michael Jackson merch for the last 25 years, and I heard you have over 1,000 vinyls in your collection. Is that true?
Yes, that's actually what I started collecting. So originally, when I collected Michael Jackson, I really started with just the records, and for so many years, I was just collecting records and magazines, a little bit on the side, and then during COVID, I kind of got a little bit of a bug, and and got a little antsy and started buying up more things, and that's kind of when my collection started to explode a little more. But yes, records was where it all started. I think right now I've got close to 1,100 12 inches, and I don't have nearly as many 45s. I have like maybe
Wow.
100 or so 45s, but 12-inch records from all around the world is really kind of my bread and butter where I started.
That's amazing. I will say that I am so impressed because I have maybe 10, maybe 12 records. I don't have nearly as much. So that is super cool. Your collection was also filmed for documentary programming on Michael Jackson collections, and you were the winner for the 2022 Hector Barjot
Yes,
Award.
I'm very proud of that. Thank you, Hector. He's a great friend now, and very proud of that.
Yes, Hector Barjot is awesome. He has an awesome collection as well. I went to his
I got to visit
collection.
him last year in Paris too. I'm like, you got to go too. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yes,
When you walk in, you're just wow.
it was like a museum in there. So, yeah, shout
Yes,
out to Hector Barjot. And then
absolutely.
also taking it back to in the day, the early 2000s, which is also kind of my era of being a fan as well, being on the forums and fan clubs. You also were
Right.
a manager for a Michael Jackson fan club from
Yeah, I don't know if you
2003.
guys remember MJFANGirl.net. So that was actually it was around all throughout the '90s, and we closed down. I guess maybe 5 years after Michael died. Unfortunately, a lot of our team members just lost interest, and it was hard for a lot of them after he passed. So it was just at the end. It was only like two or three of us left, and we had like 15 of us back in the day. So well, we used to do all the news. We did all the newsletters. We actually helped to co-host his 45th birthday party. Remember that out in Los Angeles? We were sponsored that, and then the 30th celebration when we did the Sony protest up in New York City, and then we had the fan party at Webster Hall. I don't know if you went to that, but
I
that was a great time,
remember
and we helped to
that.
organize that. Yeah, so we hosted two events that Michael attended, so that was quite a big deal. And what was kind of cool about that was, so we were MJFanclub.net. So Michael back then never really had an official fan club. There was always a bunch of fan groups, and he was always cool with that because we did such a great job, he said. So, but just in case he ever changed his mind, which he did all the time apparently, he actually still always owned MJFanclub.com. And we were
Interesting.
always MJFanclub.net. But since he liked our site so much, he let his .com domain redirect to our site. So for
What?
years, Michael, yeah. So our president Deborah, her and Michael would have personal conversations on the phone. So she was very much connected in the Jackson inner circle, and we got tickets to the memorial service. It was just yeah, we definitely had a lot of connections with the Jackson family, and it was a lot of fun back then.
That is so cool. I actually had no idea about that with the fan club redirecting to you guys' site. Congrats on
That was
that.
a
That's
really, yeah, it was kind of cool. So then after he died, it became a big thing. Was okay. Well, Michael always allowed that, so who do we contact now to make sure this can still happen? You know, and that was a big to do. And of course, but luckily for our last 2 years, we still managed to get that. But now MJFANGIRL.com goes to MichaelJackson.com, so you know you can see that it was owned by them the whole time. Really,
okay. Got it. Got it.
pretty
Wow.
cool.
Yeah, it's great because it's kind of like a flashback to the past for me thinking
Yes.
about the days of like the fan clubs and the forums and all that. So, um,
Getting your daily Michael Jackson news fix, you know, exactly.
yeah, seriously, seriously, I miss those days. But I want you to tell us, because I'm assuming that most of the people listening to this show today are Michael Jackson fans or just starting to get into Michael and merch. What's the big deal about merch? First, okay, first let's talk about MJ Market. Okay,
Sure.
tell me like the whole inspiration behind the shop and like what made you guys start this up.
Yeah, sure. So my best friend Jamie and I, he lives over in the UK. I'm from over here in the USA. We started chatting on Facebook a couple of years ago, and we just really hit it off. And you know, we were both big collectors of Michael Jackson memorabilia. He was more of a CD kind of tape guy, and I was more of a record guy. So you know, we both had very different expertise, if you want to say it like that. And then I would always ask him questions about CDs. He'd always ask me questions about records. And then we were both selling things on eBay and on various different Facebook groups, and we were just getting tired of having to deal with all the different rules and having to jump through all the eBay hoops and then pay all those crazy eBay fees. I think it's something like 15% now you have to pay on eBay. So like, there's got to be a better way. We have all this knowledge, and Jamie's actually a brilliant web developer and graphic designer too. So he was able to build us our website and be like, let's do our own little shop where we can, sell whatever we want and set our own rules and make, and do it our way. So that's how MJ Market was kind of formed, and we've been doing it now for a little over 2 years now, and we launched our boxes last year, our custom boxes last year, and they've been a big hit with the fans. I know we've seen you unbox several of them on your channel. We love watching your videos.
Yes.
And yeah, but it's been so much fun with just searching for new stuff and trying to fill our shelves online.
I think that is so cool. You guys found like a need in the market for this type of shop, and the subscription box has been like remarkable. It's such a great idea, and it's such a good thing to know that we can go to fellow fans to help us procure and start our collections. And I have to shout out the t-shirts. Every subscription box also has a t-shirt, and I'm a huge Michael Jackson t-shirt lover. I've even got one on right now. If you guys are watching this on the YouTube channel, you'll see it.
Shout out to Jamie once again. He does brilliant design work, and we're a great team.
Yes. Very, very cool. Very cool. Okay, so now let's get into the best way to start a Michael Jackson collection. For some of us, we were fans back in the day when Michael was alive and things were coming out brand new. But for a lot of people who are just starting or never even really got the CDs or the tapes and the magazines back then, like, what do you recommend? How do you get started with this?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, I was always a record guy. So, like, growing up, I always loved going to my grandmom's house and listening to the records in the basement. So that was just something that I always connected with. So for me, it was a natural, fit for me to start buying Michael Jackson records. And I mean, for me, every collector needs to have at least one of every studio album in one form or another, whether it's record, CD. I know some of those '90s records are a little bit harder to find, a little bit more expensive, but for me, you got to start with at least a copy of Thriller. I mean, everybody needs to have a copy of Thriller. A nice, I even go as far as saying Thriller on vinyl. I think everyone needs a copy of Thriller on vinyl, and we know how many millions of copies it sold, so they're definitely out there.
Right? Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's a good suggestion. I want to ask you actually, and this is related to the Thriller vinyl. They have like
Sure.
these picture discs that come out. Is the
Yes.
quality the same? Does it matter if I decide to get like a real picture disc versus like the actual original or one of the that
So they're
pressings?
meant. I mean, from someone. I mean, I wouldn't call myself an audiophile, but I'm more of a record. Like I said, I'm a record guy, and I personally don't like play picture discs. For me, they're more of a display thing, something you can get framed, and for the most part. the sound quality is, I mean, they're not focused on the sound quality when they're making them. They're really focused on, the appearance and making it look cool. So they're really not taking the extra time with the mastering process to make sure it's done right. So if you're looking for a really great sounding record, honestly, you can get a great original copy of Thriller for 30, 40, $50. It all depends, what you're looking for, and the condition. But the original copies are what's going to really sound the best. And the further you are away from the original with all the different reissues, they're just copies of different, of copies. And the closer you are to the original, the much better it's going to sound. And picture discs, like I said, I just get them framed. They look great on the wall, but they're not really for playing.
Got it. Okay, that's great information because I've been gifted a bunch of picture discs in the last couple of
I love them.
years. And yeah, they look great. I think even I have a history one just looking at the poster on your wall. And that one's so cool. It's got the statue on one side and another picture on the other
Totally.
side. But yeah, so that's good information to have. So okay. Now we've talked about where to start, but like, what are some of the best things to have in general? Because you've got magazines, you've got books, you've got CDs, DVDs, posters, shirts, clothing. Like,
There are just so many options, and it's really hard, when you want to get started. Like, where do I start? And for me, I mean, maybe as for new collectors, I would say, always collect what you like. Don't buy things that you think are going to be worth a lot of money in the future because you think, oh, this is going to, I should spend all this money, because it might not, and you'll be disappointed. Buy things that you like and are going to make you happy. Like, for example, with me, I love Bad, and I love all things Michael Jackson Pepsi. So I recently got this really cool Pepsi bottle here from on the Bad tour in Japan, and you love Japan too. So this is
yes,
it's still with the original Pepsi in it from 1988 in Japan.
that
And
is
you can see the cool Michael Jackson
amazing.
on the side. So for me, stuff like that gets me excited, and so I love things. That's just for me. Buy things that you like and get you excited. Don't think about what's going to be worth one day, because you're going to get bored, and that's just not the way to start a collection. And when you're starting out too, I say set a budget. Don't be spending. Not everyone has $1,000 to spend a month or even in a year. Maybe set $50 aside or $100 aside. A month, every 2 months, whatever you can, and buy one record, two records. And build it up that way. And then over time, you'll see that you can find more, and then as you get older, like I did. Back when I was in my 20s, I was broke. I couldn't afford anything. So now that I'm a little bit more older and established in life, I can afford to buy a lot nicer things and build my collection more. So don't feel pressured to buy things that you can't afford now, especially when you're younger.
Yeah, and that's so true. It takes me back to when I first started like buying things and I guess starting my collection. I would have to go like once a week to the store and go get like one
Right.
CD at a time. And even now, like I mean, I don't have unlimited budget, especially like as a newer parent. I gotta like buy my kid clothes and stuff. I can't
Priorities,
be
priorities, right.
exactly. So I like sometimes I will go and splurge on like a $50 item or a $100 item, but it's not every month. And it's really about like what you like you said. Like
Totally.
I used to buy like all the magazines, all of like the new
Oh
books
my
that
God,
would
me
come
too.
out. And now I'm just like, give me a nice jacket, some clothes that I can wear, like an accessory. And to me that's like the value. And like I love
Cool vintage shirt, something like that. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, and even, like, the stuff in your subscription box, which I know we're gonna talk about later, like, some
Yep.
of the cool stuff too, like, these, like, I don't even know if I'm showing the camera right now, but the cups.
I've got my invincible one here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like, these are cool items to have that you can show, like, your love and your appreciation for Michael, and so yeah, okay, that's cool. I wanted to ask you specifically about things that are not like made anymore, like DVDs and CDs. Like, what are your thoughts on people collecting those? Because I have them because I was from the era of the 90s and
You have all
early
the original
2000s.
still. Yeah, totally.
Right. But like, what about people that are wanting to find things like, for example, like the Dangerous Short Films DVD? Like, that, a lot of that stuff is not even on YouTube, right? It's only on the DVD.
Yeah, exactly. Certain clips and certain segments, exactly. You have to get that full DVD in order to see, the full clips, exactly. Yeah, and a lot of those, great spots are places like MJ Market or eBay. Those are two places that I would. I think a lot of fans go to, for their go-to places. I know Amazon. A lot of these DVDs are, like you said, out of print, and or you end up spending, $40, $50 on Amazon, from some third-party seller for, an original, and you're better off looking at, a used site like MJ Market or eBay to find something, along those lines. Like we actually just posted over 100 CDs at MJ Market in the last week. We got this huge CD collection and tons of CDs, like 50 cassette tapes. So if you're looking
Wow.
for that kind of stuff, that's kind of stuff that we will be stocking a lot of lately.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's really nice to know too that like MJ Market, you guys are like you're looking at the items and like making sure that they're in good condition and stuff before you sell them. Like, I think that's another thing that's hard when you go to like the third party seller sites or whatever, or the people that do not specialize in Michael Jackson or just a random person selling it out of their attic.
Totally.
You don't always get like the best quality. It may have scratches, it may have this or that on it. Like, I think I got a record on eBay many years ago. It was a Jackson's Live record, and I grew up listening to that with my dad, so it was very sentimental for me, and I really,
So yeah,
really wanted it. And when it came, the so it was like it's like a 3-panel fold out,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. The double disc. Yep.
yes, and part of it was shut together with water. There was like water damage.
Oh, yeah, yes, and they don't disclose that until you get, and then you're like, oh, you have to peel it open, and then it totally ruins the whole inside of the cover. It sucks. Yeah.
Exactly. And I like wanted to hang it up like how my dad has in his basement, and I could not even do that. And I still have the record here. I haven't played in a while, still love it, but the fact of the matter is it's the
I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you a good cover. I will find you a good cover of that one, and I'm
yes.
gonna get it to
Yes,
you.
please, please. I need that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, so speaking of records, I wanted to shout out something that you're going to be doing that's going to be really exciting. It's going to be happening just in a couple days from now. You guys can check out some of Jonathan's collection and maybe even procure some items of your own at his Michael Jackson Collector Showcase in Hollywood. It's going to be happening
Yes.
October 11th through the 13th. So yeah, tell us some more about that.
Yeah, so my buddy Kevin, he owns this cool record shop called As the Record Turns in Hollywood, and I've been going out there. I've been visiting LA, probably every year, at least once or twice for the last, I don't know how many years, and I always stop by Kevin's store, and Kevin is just Mr. Hollywood. He was James Brown's personal archivist for like 20 years. He's worked with everyone from Quincy Jones to Bernie Grundman. He's just, like I said, he's Mr. Hollywood. He knows everybody. He interviewed Katherine Jackson back in the 80s. He just, I don't know, but he is just a man of so many stories. So I would always go back and visit him. Maybe tell me, all his stories about who came shopping last week. Who he's working with this time. And so I just seemed like a natural fit one day. When I was like, you know what, I would love. I always wanted to show my collection in some sort of a public setting, and I knew that it was going to be, on that weekend there'd be a lot of fans in town for convention. So I thought, this might be a good opportunity, to call up Kevin and get something together. And he thought it was a great idea. So we're gonna have like 3 or 4 display cases set up where I'm gonna be bringing out a bunch of my favorite collectibles and have them on display for you guys to see in person, and have some stuff for you to buy. And Kevin's gonna have tons of rare records, and I know he's got some Jackson's acetates that he's gonna be pulling out of the closet. So definitely stop by if you're a record collector. We're gonna have some good stuff for you.
That is so cool, and I love to know that like the owner has all those really cool stories. I'm sure that a lot of people are gonna want to hear
Oh
some of
yeah,
that.
Kevin is the story man. Like you guys will definitely love chatting with Kevin. He's a good guy.
Cool, cool. And yeah, let us know how that goes. The store is called As the Record Turns. So all the information about As the Record Turns is going to be in the bottom of the show notes or the YouTube description box wherever you're
Yeah,
taking
please
this
stop by and
in.
see us. It'll be great to meet you guys.
Yes, yes. And as you're saying, it's located on the near his Hollywood Star, right?
Yeah, it's 2 blocks from Michael Starr on Hollywood Boulevard. So if you're in town, that's definitely going to be something you want to check out. And just walk 2 blocks and come see us. That'd be great.
Awesome. And I'm also hoping to stop by myself. I got to find my babysitter and then I can make these things happen. But I want to make it there because I think that's going to be so cool. And I love seeing other people's collections for sure.
And I can't say anything yet, but we might have a few surprise guests to be announced. So stay tuned to my Instagram page, and we'll have some announcements soon, I hope.
Yes, yes. Oh, and Instagram page, let's shout it out real quick just in case anyone's listening and doesn't have the visual and they want to follow you right now.
Yes, here's my, here's my little handle here, MJFANGIRL_collector. This is my personal page, and then at Michael Jackson Market is our business page, but this is where you can see my personal collection, where I like to share and showcase those items that I acquire.
Amazing. And just to let you guys see a little bit of what Jonathan has, I'm going to insert some pictures here of his collection. Very, very amazing. Just
Oh, thank you so much.
And I love the display. That's what I need. I need just a way to display the items and keep them in a good condition.
IKEA cubes are and bookcases. You can get glass doors on them too, and it's great. IKEA has so many options for that. It's really, I have so many IKEA bookcases, and for records, IKEA cubes are the best.
Okay, thank you for that. So if you guys are
Absolutely,
listening, hit up IKEA. I need to do that because growing up, I always had my things on shelves or like bookshelves, and everything gets so dusty. And I always feel bad because it's like, as much as I love Michael and all my collectibles, I definitely can't go and dust them off.
It's annoying.
every week. Like I can't right now. Not at this stage in my life. Maybe at some point I'll be able to, but that's why I need those bookcase doors.
Totally, it really helps.
Okay, so now that we've chatted about the best way to keep things in good condition, let's talk about some most wanted items in the Michael Jackson fandom. So for all
there's fun stuff.
all you guys out there, exactly. This is the good part for the longtime collectors if they want to know what they need to get. Tell us about those, please.
So I'm going to share with you guys a few of what I call, I guess you can call them holy grails for collectors in the Michael Jackson community. So I got this guy, maybe you notice this in front of me. This is a Michael Jackson, put it a little bit closer. It's a promotional car from Germany. And these were given out as a contest in, I guess, around 88, 89. You could enter a contest, and there was allegedly, we don't know the exact count, but it's alleged that there are about 50 of these, and even fewer that survived in the original box. So the fact that you have an original box, and especially in this condition, is just really, this is top of the line. I've seen boxes that are destroyed. Actually, we have a car now for sale in MJ Market. Just take it out and show you. Just the car itself without the box. But if you have a box, it's crazy how much the box almost doubles the value.
Wow.
You wouldn't think that, but something like that, yeah. It's crazy.
And you said only 50 of these exist?
That is the rumor, yes.
Wow.
Is that there are 50 of these in the world. So, and they were apparently only given out as, like a prize in a raffle, and then maybe to, a few select, Pepsi executives. There's always these fan rumors that you hear, on,
right.
Different groups and stuff online, but there's definitely not hundreds of them or thousands of them for sure. Absolutely not. And then, so yes, it's crazy.
That is so cool. Okay, yes. Tell us what else.
So I got something else here for you guys. So now, this guy here is what I finally found one last year. So this took me like 20 years to finally get one of these. So this is the, so this is the Smile 12-inch single. Wow. These are this is really, take it off so you can actually see what it was. It's shiny. So wow. This is the cover for the 12-inch single. So the story behind that is that those originally were supposed to be the last single from the History album to be released, and it was ready to go. And then at the last minute, Sony decided to pull the plug on it and cancel the release. And because there's a bunch of stories why. One of the stories was that he was getting ready for Blood on the Dance Floor, so they wanted to start promoting that instead. There's a lot of there's a lot of rumor, but I don't think anyone really knows the true truth. But they were in stores, I think, for one day maybe in Europe, and then they got pulled immediately, and then they were supposed to all be destroyed, and some managed to not, make it out of the store. You're one of those lucky fans on day one, or you knew somebody that worked at Sony, or it's a matter of who you knew back then, and then the rest of them all got destroyed. So something like that is another one where, if I had to guess, I would say there's probably fewer than 100 of them in the world and something like that too. Its condition is going to really drive the price on that. Whether the actual cover, so if it's not bent on the corners, if it's not creased, and then when you're looking at the records themselves, we're looking at it can't be scratched up. It's got to be look like it's we call it near mint is that grading term that we would use where it looks like it's brand new, and then so yeah, and basically something like that could go. I mean, I've seen them sell upwards between as. I mean, for me, if you see one for less than $1,000, I would be suspect because it's also one of the I would say it's one of the most popular bootleg records out there. So
really,
I would say for every real one, there's probably 25 fakes or more.
What?
And there's a couple tells you can with that, but yeah, you really need to know what you're doing because it's very easy to be confused and ripped off and overpay for something like that. Because something like that, you really don't want to be paying more than, I mean, I wouldn't want to pay more than $100 for something like that. And if you're paying $1,000 or more for something like that, you really need to know what you're buying. So there are a couple of things you can tell by the labels. When you look at the actual record label, the print is just not, it looks like it was printed on like a cheap inkjet printer almost. Like you can just, it doesn't look very professional. Like something you would have gotten from, the store.
Right.
And then the cover itself on the back, when you look at the barcode, it's kind of blurry. So like another printing issue where it just doesn't look, it's not sharp like it should be. So those are two of the tell signs. And anytime you see one for sale, always ask for a photo of the labels and the barcode. Those are two things you want to look for on something like that because, like I said, tons of fakes out there. And lately, guys, be careful. I've seen a lot of people posting on Facebook groups for sale lately, pictures of Smile, and for $500, and I'm like, alarm bells for me immediately. I'm like, be careful because it's rare. There's not many out there, and if someone's trying to unload it fast for $500 or even $1,000, be suspect and
wow,
just be careful.
That is such good information. Like I would have never known that. And even, me who I feel like, okay, I know pretty much enough about collectibles. Like I had no idea. I knew that I didn't know about this whole story with Smile.
And some people are very happy having a bootleg, because they can't afford the $2,000 record, so they're very happy having the cover. People, it's great artwork. People love it. They can frame it still. It looks nice. So it's not worthless, but it's also not priceless either.
Right.
So just be very careful with what you're paying.
Yeah, thank you so much for that information.
Totally.
And
anyone has a question ever, please message me. And please don't spend that kind of money unless you're short of what you're getting. And I'll be happy to look at it for you and give you my opinion.
Amazing information. I love that. And I think, we have one more item that
I got one more here to show you guys. Yes. So this one here, I don't think you guys watched the Thriller 40 documentary last year. This one was discussed a bunch in that with CBS. So this is the Someone in the Dark 7-inch single that was going to be part of the E.T. storybook release. And you remember that story with Walter Yanikoff from CBS saying, don't kiss the alien. I have that here. Remember that whole bit when they mentioned that?
Yes.
So this was that release that came out during that time where they were saying, so basically Michael was in violation of his contract because MCA wanted to release this song, for radio at the same time Thriller was coming out, and Epic said, no, your album's coming out. This is going to interfere with our promotion. So they basically sued MCA and said, you're not selling that, and you're not playing that. So they pulled them all back. They sent these out to radio stations to play originally, and some of them survived, some of them didn't. Like it's similar to Smile, where they were supposed to be destroyed, and some made it out and some didn't. And something like this, I actually just saw one sell last week at a record shop out in LA. And it was on their Discogs page, $2,000. This one sold for in similar condition. It's very, very hard to find, and like I said, maybe 100, maybe 200. It's hard to say. And then like another one, condition. If this sleeve has been, because it's a white sleeve. Oftentimes, white sleeves after 40 years will get yellow, and that's going to really affect the value. So something like this that's still crisp and white, like it was 40 years ago, is really going to get you your top dollar for something like that.
That is so amazing. It's just so interesting to hear, like, with all these collectibles and all the merch, there are just so many stories behind them, just like what you shared about, like the whole contract thing and with the ET storybook and everything. And what a way to just, own a part of that like rich history of Michael Jackson.
That was one when I found it. I literally I found it in a stack. I was just going through a stack of 45s, and wasn't in a sleeve, and it was like my heart stopped.
Wow. So okay, so that's another cool thing is with MJ Market, you guys you're taking the guesswork out of this for people, and people don't have to go and crate dig, right? They can just go on your website and see a lot of the items that they might be looking for.
And we're gonna put them in a nice sleeve for you, whether it's a magazine, a plastic sleeve, or a record in a record sleeve. We put all of our CDs in nice little plastic sealed bags so they stay nice and clean for you over the years. So definitely, that's the kind of things that we take pride in that.
That is so cool, and that's one of the things that I've loved about all the stuff that I've gotten from MJ Market thus far is that everything is remaining in good condition because it doesn't get all the dusty, it doesn't get all the dust and the wrinkles and
We don't want to
everything.
send you stuff that we wouldn't want. If it's something that looks junky, we're gonna throw it away too. We're not gonna send you something that's garbage. So you can definitely trust us on that. We're definitely looking for the good stuff.
Yes, and okay, now I have something that I saw you guys post about not too long ago, and speaking of the good stuff, we're going to talk a little bit about the bad stuff, fakes,
Yes.
specifically fake autographs. Now, I have also been a part of those Facebook like collectors groups and all that, and
Let me say, everybody thinks they're an expert. Let me tell you that first of all. Everybody's an expert, and you're never gonna get everyone to agree.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I mean, people are always asking, how do you know? I've even gotten DMs just off of me having a Michael Jackson YouTube channel. People are like, MJ Fangirl.
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think this is real or fake? And I'm like, I have no idea. So I wanted to ask you,
Yes,
how
I'm
can you
happy to dive into that a
tell?
little bit today.
Yes, how can you tell?
So basically, I'm gonna say there's basically four. I would say there's four kinds of Michael Jackson autographs out there. Now, let me caveat this by saying I would honest. It's terrible to say, but I would say 9 out of 10 of them out there for sale, whether it be eBay or somewhere else, are fake. Be very careful.
9 out of
Proceed with
10?
caution. Honestly, it is. He's probably the most widely counterfeited and forged signature in the world. I mean, yeah, it's really, and for me, buying something signed, even now, like I have to make sure I really trust the person and know where it came from because it's a jungle out there. So I'm going to talk it. So like I said, there are four kinds of signatures. There's the one that's just flat out fake. We know it just looks like somebody forged it for a variety of reasons when you're looking at it. Then we have the secretarial signature, which often looks very much like Michael's signature, but back in the 90s and 80s when Michael was on the road or busy, he authorized people in his production office, MJJ Productions, to sign things on his behalf. I
Oh.
don't love that, but they are but he authorized it, so they are called secretarial signatures, where maybe somebody like Bob Jones might have been, signing things for him on his behalf. So I got an example of one of those here.
I
So
was
I
going to
actually bought this,
say, I want to see that.
and like I said, I have it framed because I love it, because I actually bought this large collection from this woman Nancy a few years ago, and she ran this fan club. And I guess Michael sent her this. This was her newsletter, and Michael signed that for her. And it looks like a good signature. Wouldn't you think? On the first service, it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it does, for
But
sure.
but when you look at it closely, and you look at other examples of Michael's and secretarial, you can tell it's just not quite Michael. And it's almost there, but it's not. And that's when it's probably secretarial. And just for me, looking at hundreds of signatures every year, and over the years thousands, it's just one of those things that you just kind of right now, you just kind of know right away. Oh yeah, it's secretarial, and it looks like that's how they always did them. And like I said, they still have some value, but I would say maybe $100 to $200, maybe for something like that. That you can say actually came from the office of MTA Productions.
So
But
so a lot of those would be like, I guess, him responding to like a fan letter or
fan club
that kind of
letters,
thing.
exactly right,
Okay.
exactly right. A lot of it, and sometimes he was in the office and he would sign them. Other times, like I said, he was on the road or doing something else, and he wasn't in town, and they had 1,000 letters to respond to, and they just had to get them out as fast as they whatever they had to do. And Michael said, "Yep, please go ahead." So
Wow.
that happened
Okay.
more often than we think.
Yeah, now I'm like, okay, now I've got my eyes open for that. Secretarial, that's the first one.
So here's another one we have here. So this was called an auto pen signature, where let me show you this guy here. So this was used on products like this. So this was like an official limited edition Man in the Mirror lithograph signed. You can see that with you see the gold 2J.
Yes, yes.
So that they actually had in the production office, they had a machine called an auto pen machine, where Michael would program in his signature in the machine, and then it would basically print exactly what he programmed in on things like lithographs like this. So that was done on these ones back in the 80s, and then they also did them. There was one that was released in the early 90s for Dangerous. It's a big gold lithograph. It's got a gold border around it, and in the left hand corner it's got Michael's signature, and it looks very much just like the one in the lithograph here from the 80s. And that came from the auto pen machine as well. And those are used a lot of times in politics. I know I'm pretty sure that they have on the White House. The president's got to sign 1 million documents, and so they are, in some ways they're authorized signatures, but they're not hand signatures. So
Right.
It's still value, but not as much as something that Michael would have signed with his own two hands, and that he held himself.
Okay, yes, because I was gonna say like that auto pen. I feel
I
like
love. I like I said, I personally love it. I have it hanging on my wall. It's great, and like I said, if it makes you happy, then that's all that matters.
Right, right. It's so true because I actually think it looks really cool. I mean, I guess you can kind of tell that it's less like there's something so like less than
Perfect about it. Yeah.
yeah. The auto
Yes,
pen is too perfect.
exactly. It's like exactly right. Like you got every little letter formed just right how it should be. Totally, yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely right.
yeah. And so now I guess okay. So you've got the auto pen, we've got the secretarial, and
So now I'm going to share with you guys. This is one that I got signed myself in person by Michael in 2009. So I was out in LA when he was getting ready
wow.
for This Is It, and then let me put the light there. So
Yeah.
and I was lucky enough to run into him and I and his bodyguards, and I obviously went all fanboy and freaked out, and I'll show you the video sometime. That's really funny.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then got 2 records signed. I got my original "Got to Be There" signed there, and a Ben record signed, and one of the greatest days of my life.
That is
And
so cool. I can't believe
what
you
was
got
crazy about
that
that
like
is
yourself. Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
it was it was amazing. Oh my god, best day ever. It was I'll show you the video. It's hysterical. It's really you'll love it.
Please share.
So anyway, yes. So anyway, I was I got that, and then I actually sent that one out because for insurance purposes, I wanted to get it like appraised and certified by there's a whole lot of companies that do autograph certifications. That they'll charge you a couple $100. So I think I ended up paying something like $150 each to send out both of my records to this company, that does grading and certifications. And I'm thinking like, these are going to pass flying colors. You sign them for me, And I get a letter back saying unable to certify. I'm like, what the heck? So I sent you my records that you had them for like 2 months, and which I was already nervous about doing in the first place. Like I didn't want to send my jewels away. My pride.
Yeah.
So then to get that back and still having paid $300 for them to basically say we're not sure if this is real or not. That was just crushing. So after that, I lost a lot of confidence in autographs, and that kind of put a really bad taste in my mouth. Where I was like, if these people are saying that, then and I know it's real, then what are these certifications that I'm seeing online really mean then?
Right.
So then it made me question anything. I'm like, well, just because someone says it's real, like I said, everybody thinks they're an expert, and nobody really is. I can say I know a lot. I've looked at many, but I'm not the end all be all. But I can, with a lot of certainty, give you my opinion. But there's always going to be someone that disagrees, and that's just what it is with Michael Jackson.
Right. And of course, also, Michael Jackson was such a generous person. He would sign so many things.
Oh my God.
Right?
He was one of the best to his fans. Like, he treated his fans like gold. He appreciated us, and he always took the time to sign for us. These celebrities that nowadays that I see brushing their fans off, and just run, it's disgraceful. Like, Michael was the biggest star in the world at that time, and he always made time for his fans, and there's no excuse for that anymore.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree.
I've got one more fun thing here to share with you guys. I
Oh,
want to show you.
yes. Okay.
So this is my Artist of the Decade award that came out. So these came out in 1990, when after the 80s, where Michael had the best decade ever. So he released these, and he actually signed the little cards there. So there was 40, I think it was 500 of them. I'm sorry, 1,000 of them rather,
Wow.
and they were all signed and hand numbered by Michael. And this is, I mean, if you're going to buy an autograph, this is one that is real. It's widely documented that Michael was there for the signing. Michael did these signings, so something like that. If you're going to spend the money on, it's real because it's they're not faked, and so something like that. I felt confident spending the extra money on that because I knew I was getting a real autograph there. Whereas buying a signed record from some auction house that with a little slip saying certified, I don't know anymore. It's
Right.
really tough, to say, like who to trust and who not to trust.
And that's another thing, like, okay, so that kind of event where he signs a lot of, like what you just described to us, like, how would we know about that? Is that something that a fan can look up on YouTube or like go to MJ Market for? Like,
Yeah,
how do they know?
so that should be something. I mean, I know back in the day it was definitely written about, on the MJ blogs and all that type of stuff. But a lot of those, sadly, like MJ, our web fan club are no longer around. So a lot of that history has been sadly erased, and so it is hard to find some of these things out there. Some of that older history. But there are some fan club sites that have been out there for a longer time and stuff like that. MJ community, I know, has been out there for a long time, and they've got a long history, of archive of news and stuff like that. So those are the kind of places where you can find good stuff on that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Now, and just out of curiosity, because we've talked about real ones, you showed us amazing examples of secretarial, auto pen, real. Can you show? Do you have a? You probably don't even have a fake, do you? No, right?
You know, I can, I'll definitely send you over some examples of the show. Yeah, I'll get you a
Can
few examples, and we can have them maybe guess, real or fake. What do you think? Side by side. That'd be
okay.
fun.
Let's do that because I want to.
Yeah.
I know that the people that are listening on Spotify or on your audio platforms might not be able to see,
Oh,
but
that's true. Yes.
for those
And
of
anyone watching us, yes.
exactly whoever's watching this episode of Club 30s on YouTube, we're gonna do that. I think it'll be really fun. Just yeah,
Totally, little
Jonathan
guessing
and I
game.
will work behind the scenes to get that up here by the time this video goes up. Okay, so now just a little break before we continue with MJ Market to talk about the Club 30's Patreon. Are you a Michael Jackson fan that loves to chat about your favorite songs, dissect interviews, and travel to events, but you're tired of doing it alone? Well, Club 30's is where we uncover the greatest moments in Michael Jackson's career and chat all things King of Pop. Join our community for weekly polls, exclusive content, and live streams, as well as access to our private community chat where you can interact with Michael Jackson fans just like us. Visit patreon.com/MJFangirl to join Club 30's backstage, and I'll see you in the chat. Right, so we are back, and I think it would be great to chat about the subscription box by MJ Market. We've talked about it a bunch of times. If you have been watching my channel, you know that I love the subscription boxes, and I do unboxes of them pretty often. So, Jonathan,
Let's bring one out.
yeah, let's talk about this subscription box, and let's take a look.
So guys, if you can't see, so basically every box is themed around an album. So we've got a Blood on the Dance Floor box. We have a this is our doing our thriller box this month in time for Halloween. We have a Dangerous box, a History box, and then we're going to be doing Bad in November. So this month, like I said, we launched our thriller box. I'm going to do a little unboxing here for you guys to show you some things that you might expect to get in one of your subscription boxes. First off, everyone gets to choose a t-shirt. Like I'm wearing this is one of our new thriller shirts this month here. And this month we have 5 shirts to choose from. You go on and choose your shirt and your size, and then we then take it from there. And we're gonna pick a bunch of fun themed items from Thriller and put them in a box for you, and then surprise you with your order. So some things you might want to get for Thriller, for example, you might get a Thriller cup like this.
Nice.
Or maybe you'll get a Jackson's Victory Tour Pepsi can. These are fun. We got some Thriller buttons here. These are a vintage from 1984. Maybe you'll get one of these little fun tapestries here from Thriller with the human nature photo on it. This person might also be a pack of a vintage Thriller sticker photo cards from 84. We got a 45 for The Girl Is Mine. We got here People magazine with Michael from back in that 84. And then we got poster. Let's see what kind of poster we got. A Thriller poster here.
Oh, nice.
And then we've got a little 8x10 photo from Thriller. And some little MJ Market fun stuff. We got a little MJ Market button and sticker here. And like I said, you'll be getting a T-shirt, and it's usually about 8 to 10 different items, depending on the value, of what we find. And we try to fill up the boxes as much as we can with, fun, original, and items that we make ourselves. And it's really been a big hit with the fans, and we hope to keep doing it next year too.
Yeah, I love that, and thank you for doing that unboxing. I always find that you find really great gems in the subscription boxes, as well as some of the MJ Market branded stuff. Like, I know at one time you guys had like a notebook and a little pen set.
Totally, yes. Yeah, we love doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's so cool, and it's fun to be able to incorporate Michael in your everyday life like that. I have so many MJ Market pens, like they're all on my desk at work for sure. And whenever people ask me to borrow a pen, which people always do at work, they get to see a little bit of MJ Market. But yeah, that's super cool. And also that Victory Tour can. This is just like a random little fact about me. When I first met my husband in real life, because back in the day we had met on the Michael Jackson AOL chat room. For some reason, he thought it would be a good idea to bring a shoebox of random collectibles, and one of them was one of the original Victory Tour cans.
Nice.
And I was just like, oh, I think I like him.
This is cool. He might be a keeper.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for doing that unboxing. And we also have a promo code to share with listeners, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Please share that.
Yes. You can get a discount off of your first subscription box purchase by using the code MJFANGIRL. MJFANGIRL on MJ Market. So go ahead and get that. It's going to be a great holiday gift, a great anytime gift.
Certain time for Thriller this year. Halloween, absolutely.
Halloween, yes, exactly. And I was going to ask you also, are people so I know that you have different boxes for different albums. Can I get the box at any point that I want?
Yes. So last year we actually did it once a month. They're only available for 30 days. And we thought, what? People were messaging us afterwards saying, oh, I missed that box. I missed it. So we felt bad, saying no. So we thought, let's just keep them online all year around. So let's release a new one every 2 months and keep them online the whole year. And then if you missed, the bad box or, the dangerous box from a few months ago, or you just found us now, you can still go back and buy them. And for international customers, it's great too, because you can buy 1, 2, or 3, and you get combined shipping and save, and you'll be getting 20 or 30 different Michael Jackson things all in one package. And I have to pay for shipping individually on eBay. It's great.
Yeah, that is so cool. I'm, like I said, so excited that you have joined us today, and I want to just for fun, I think it'd be really cool to talk about our favorite items from our collections, because
fun.
Yes. Every fan, we love to exchange those stories. So, yeah, I brought some of my favorites. And I know you probably have some of yours too.
I'm excited.
So I want to share some stuff with you. And okay, let's start with this one. So this is an item, and I'm probably going to have to back up and put a photo on. But for those that are listening, this is a Pepsi Victory Tour.
Oh, the Jackson's Victory Tour jacket. Yes.
Yes. I had to look and
Love
make sure
them.
what I was holding up because two of them look the same. But here it is. And I'm hoping that this is official now after all this chat about fakes. I'm
They
like,
absolutely are. Yes, and I can see the tag. Yes, that's the original tags. Absolutely. Yeah, those were sold originally at the concerts, and I don't think you can order them online or not. I mean, online. God, what was the year? God, who am I? Through mail order rather. God, online. How funny is that?
yeah, I was like online. I was like, I'm not sure. No,
Took the Jackson's mail order from him and wait 8 months. You know.
right. Yeah, this is so cool. This is I had actually like somebody that was getting rid of their collection. This is like one of my first items that I got in the early 2000s when I was in high school and I was just starting to collect. And I was so lucky to get it at like a pretty decent price. And it's cool because back in those days, like there
Uh-huh.
it was harder to find stuff that was in my size. So this is that. Should I just share all my three and then you'll share?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
and then I'll show you my three, and then I have your two. I got three. I got some jackets to show you too. I know you like clothes.
Yes. Okay. Here's my next item. Keeping with the Jacksons theme.
Love it. Oh, that's a good one. Yes, I actually don't have that one, so good for you. I love it.
Wow. I feel special now. Like what?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm a little jealous.
This is I believe it's from the Triumph tour.
Yeah, 81. Yep.
And yeah, this is one of my favorites. As you guys know, if you've listened to the show before, I'm a huge Jackson 5 fan. Like love all that stuff. And so I found this many years ago and I wore it to I think it was like one of the Jackson shows when they did like
Fun.
their first show again, like after Michael had passed away. I think it was 2011 is around when I found it.
It's fun wearing vintage clothes, isn't it? When you go out through that, yeah, it's fun.
It is. People are always like, "Where'd you get that?" And I'm like, "Oh, 1981." You know.
You know.
And then this is another one that I actually don't know much about. I believe this is real. Let me show you.
Let's see. Oh yeah, the Captain EO jacket. Yeah, cool. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it has the Disney tags, right? Yeah, totally.
Yes, Disney tags.
Disney, nice.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, that looks. I don't know if it was sold at Disney World or Disneyland because I know they had the exhibit in California and in Florida. But really, that's one that you don't find very often these days. I mean, if you see it on eBay, maybe once or twice a year, you're lucky, I would say. So that's a good one to have. Good for you.
Yes, thank you. And I actually got it for a steal. I got it for like $50.
Amazing.
Which I think sometimes
Applause. Yes.
Sometimes people get rid of stuff that they don't know the value. They just want it out. So
you never know.
Yeah, you never know. So those are my three favorite items. All of them are clothing. Like not a surprise coming from me. So I would love.
So I'm gonna show now some jackets too I got for you guys. So now these are three of my. So I've got over. I think I have 19 or 20 different tour jackets in my collection now, and these are three of my favorites. Like I mentioned, I love Bad. So this one is actually. So this is the Bad leather. It has the Bad bomber jacket here with the that on the back. Probably saw these.
Wow.
On the Moonwalker, the video behind the scenes where people were wearing them. Like so cool story. This one I actually got from Michael Jackson's personal photographer, Sam Emerson.
What?
I bought a bunch of stuff from him online a few years ago, and he sold me his original tour jacket. So who knows? This jacket may have been in the front row with Sam, taking photos of who knows which night of the tour. But it's got a little cool history there in that one.
So cool. I actually have the chills. I have like goosebumps right now when you're telling me this story.
Oh, well,
that's so cool.
Well, you're gonna love this one then.
Okay.
So similar, I have this history vest. And it's a photographer's vest. I don't know if you recognize this name on the front. John Isaac, who was one of Michael's photographers on the History World Tour. So he took many iconic photos of Michael, and he would have very likely have worn this vest at some point on the History World Tour while he was snapping away on stage of Michael.
Wow.
So this one, I got super lucky. I found it on eBay a couple of years ago, and I saw it and then bought it immediately because I knew it wouldn't last more than a few minutes. So, and one of my, I love having something that has a cool backstory, you know, like that. And so, like, we got Sam and then John.
That is so
now,
cool.
This one is another jacket that I got. First of all, I love this jacket, but for a variety of reasons. So it's a bad World Tour jacket. It's got, you know, the buckles on it. It's really cool.
So 80s.
Now, at the time when I bought it, I had no idea that, I guess, Michael, so these were originally crew jackets at one point. So Michael had the names of certain crew members embroidered inside. So I didn't know that, and it wasn't disclosed when I bought it. So I get this, and I unzip it, and what name do you see there?
Jonathan! Wait!
Can you believe that? So I opened it, and then my name was inside Jonathan, and I absolutely was, my jaw dropped to the floor. Like I said, the seller didn't disclose it to me, and it was a complete surprise. And I did some more research, and I found out that, I don't know exactly whose it was. I thought maybe Jonathan Moffat, but I have no idea. You know, that was one of my guesses, but still haven't been able to find out whose exactly it was. But the fact that it was my name, I'm like, I think it was meant to be. And Michael wanted me to add it.
Seriously, that was meant for you. That is so cool.
That's why I'm like, this is meant for my collection.
That is amazing. And
one of my coolest finds ever, absolutely.
Yeah, and I've never seen that. So that's just really cool. And MJ Market is always posting like new items that they have in their shop. If you go to like their Instagram, there's lots of updates about things that are available. I just thank you so much for sharing your items.
It's been great to connect with you after all this time, man. I look forward to hopefully seeing you out in LA next month.
Yes, for sure. You guys,
this month. Oh my God, it's already October. Jeez, we're already.
I know. This month, I was just like, I can't believe that we've been connected for so long, and now we're actually finally getting to chat, and it's just been really cool to have this conversation. And yeah, I would encourage everybody listening to this show to definitely go and visit mjmarket.com just to browse. Definitely give them a follow. Give Jonathan a follow also on his personal collector's page, because I think it's always fun to see what he's got in with his collection also. And definitely, you guys, if you are in town in the middle of October, in a couple of days, Jonathan will be at...
Stop by and see me.
Yes. What is the name of the store one more time?
As the Record Turns on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes. So make sure that you guys stop out there. Thank you once again, Jonathan. Hopefully we can reconnect. Yes,
thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, hopefully we can reconnect again soon. Who knows? Maybe there'll be some cool reissues of merch after that Michael Jackson movie comes out, right?
I hope so. Absolutely. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, there's going to be a resurgence of things for sure. So I'm excited. But until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.